Yes.
Is there a connection between the choices we make and destiny? Is there destiny?
Yes. The choices that we make create our destiny. We could say that we come into this life for a purpose. But that purpose is to live this life. It's like if you went someplace to play a game, and, oh yes, there is the winning and the losing, possibly. Let's say a game of soccer or a game of football or basketball or chess or checkers or whatever it is. There are the rules of the game, but really it's to play the game, okay? And this is a game too, this game that we have of life. And our purpose is to live it and to experience it and to be changed by it. You don't play any game, no matter how small, without being changed. You don't have any experience without being changed. Well, this is a big game we're in. Now, it doesn't mean it's meaningless at all. But it's interesting to treat it like a game. It's just an idea. Because if you treat it like a game, like the kind of game that you don't have to win, the purpose of it is to experience it, okay? Then that gives you, again, all kinds of choices and options that don't bring up fear of doing it wrong. Okay? So when we talk about destiny, yes, if you're here, obviously your destiny is to be here. And sometimes we borrow a phrase from one writer and say that you'll know when your time is over. If you're still here, it isn't. Okay? So as long as you're here, you've got something to do and some purpose in being here, in your expansion of yourself or your influence on others around you. And you won't leave till that's over. Okay? So, but the choices that you make determine the nature of the game or the nature of the experience. So we could decide to go from here to Oahu. Where does destiny come in? Well, destiny comes in when we get an idea and make a choice based on that idea. They're having a sale at Ala Moana. Okay? It doesn't sound profound, but extend this into profound things because the same thing happens. You hear about a sale, or you suddenly get a dream, or you get an inspiration that you would really like to see the beach at Waikiki early in the morning. There's something about that that moves you. Whatever it is, there's an idea that comes into your mind. Then you must make a choice about that idea. And then act on that choice. That's the beginning of destiny. We get millions of ideas, thoughts, inspirations, experiences. We don't always act on them. We couldn't. But some move us in a particular way that we at least consider acting on them. When we do, when we say, yes, this I'm going to do, when we start moving in that direction, we've started destiny. And the more you follow your habits, the more fixed your destiny is. Because you'll keep doing the same things that will lead you into similar kinds of experiences. And you can go deeply and profoundly into any of those, or you can go a widespread range of experiences. You can do it any way you want, but we initiate destiny. And when I say we, I don't mean just we with our conscious mind, because we are also spirit and we're part of that infinity. Right? But there has to be choice and there has to be action of some kind. So we can go to Oahu now. We've decided to go to Oahu for whatever our reason is. Now, we can sail. We could, if we had enough money, buy one of those brand new jet skis and make it across the channel. That would make the news. We can take a plane, we can take Aloha, we can take Hawaiian, maybe, I don't know if Mahalo's still running. We can take down from Lihuia, we can take Princeville, Island Air, leave from Princeville. We can actually go roundabout. We could fly from, well, no, we could sail from here to the Marquesas, Tahiti, catch a plane in Tahiti, take it over to Australia, make our way around the world back. That way, you see, we have all these ways in which we could get there. Destiny is to get to Oahu because we've made a choice and we start the action. How we get there then is even more choices as to how we play out that destiny. So if you can expand that to the larger choices in life, it works the same way. At least that's one way of looking at it. Okay. Yes?
Can we talk about the difference between our will and God's will?
Okay. There, I just did.
I think that's what made my thoughts really go onto that train.
Yeah, see, go ahead.
You know, like if say you have all those choices in your destiny, well, that's really putting forth our will, or is that really the blending of us? Of God's
Sure.
will and our will?
See, it depends on whether you think of God as separate or infinite. As God is infinite, then there is no separation there. There can't be. Okay? Your will cannot be against. Now, in exerting your will, however, you will experience a difference in effects, and you will get feedback from your experience as to whether exerting the will in this particular direction is pleasurable or painful. And then you can pull back and maybe do it in a different way. Okay? But the whole idea of free will, if you accept that kind of thing, doesn't mean independent from, if you think of an infinite God. Okay? What it means is that we are consciously participating in that will. Now just carry this a little bit through, and this all depends on whether you want to think of God as infinite or not, okay? But if you do, and just as an aside, if you don't, then there has to be something greater, but we'll leave that one aside for the theologist. But if God is infinite, then you make a choice within that infinity, but that means that all choices are possible. If God is infinite, then choices are also infinite. That doesn't mean every choice will have the same effect, and it does not mean that every choice is the right one or the best one for the greatest harmony. It means that all choices are possible. That's what free will is all about. It's for us to discover what choices work and what choices don't. Well, it would seem that a loving God, if you accept the idea of a loving infinite God, and that makes sense because if God was not loving, then I don't have any idea why we would be here, okay? But we'll assume the loving part. Then that free will becomes an important part of that too. Right? That ability to allow us to explore that infinity so that we learn and we become more. And as we become more, why, English is very hard at this point. We increase that infinity. Or well, let's put it this way. This would be more practical. We increase the range. Once we start something and do something and have an experience, that goes out into the universe, becomes part of the universe, and we increase the range of available choices for all of those creatures who are still finite. Oh, I like that way of putting it. Okay? Okay? Because infinity can't be increased. It's all there is already. But it's all possibilities. Okay? And we learn which ones work real well and which ones don't. But we can't learn that if all possibilities aren't possible. So there's some ways to think about it.